Hi, this is Njokunen Eunice. To take us further on the use of EAD pad, we'll be looking at change a case from multi-locality EA to multi-EA locality. So based on the case we've created, we are going to tap on the incomplete case, which is the one we worked on as a exercise 7. So for us to change the case from multi-locality EA to multi-EA locality. So we'll have to tap on edit case detail. So looking at what we imputed, we can see that the EA structure is multi-locality EA. So we have to come and change it to multi-EA locality. So if you just change it like that, that is it. So that is how you're going to change your EA structure from multi-locality EA to multi-EA locality, or vice versa. And then you tap on update EA attributes. You say yes, update. That's the thing. Your case has been updated. Also, to take us further, because when you finish creating a case and everything on incomplete, you've not started your work. So the major work is to start adding buildings to a case. So for us to start adding buildings to a case, we have to open a case. You see a notice. You are about to open this exercise. Click yes to proceed. But if you don't want to proceed, you can click no. In this case, we are proceeding, so we'll take yes. It will now take us to the map platform where the map is. So you can now tap on the locate me icon. For you to get this accurately, you have to be outside where there is sun or an open place. In fact, we advise to have the minimal error or margin. That's the accuracy level should be lower than 5 meters, because for you to know the exact location where you are. So our owner is still reading, so we have to leave it to read till at least less than 5 meters. So but for you to do this, you have to make sure for the first time, because this is your map for the whole country loading, you have to make sure your internet data is on, and a good network actually allow it to be on for it to work, and move around a bit and get your exact location. When you must have achieved that, it will now take you, and for you to know the exact spot you are, look at what you're seeing in your map and look at what you're seeing on the physical ground. That will help you to locate the exact point you are. But when you check it and see that it is not accurate, that where it's showing me is not where I am, then that means something is wrong. You have to continue tapping on your Walkman and also allow it to read to the lowest accuracy level, less than 5. So to get the accuracy level. So if you do that and you are at the right place, you can now say accept. It will take you to your location right now, and this one just takes me exactly to my building. It takes me exactly to my building. So you have to pan around the app, the imagery, pan around to make sure everything is clear, so that when you're walking, you can, if you want, you can turn off your data after or downloading your imagery. But if you don't want, you can leave it on for easy access. So when you pan around and everything is clear and is not blurry, you can now start your demarcation. So in this case, we have to, we shouldn't start from the middle. So we have to get at a point, a kind of edge or corner of the EA, or where we want to use our EA to our location to start. So this point, um we have to start with our primary map tools. These primary map tools are off to add building, add important points, draw road, draw boundary, shift building, delete building. Each of them has their functions. The off is when you don't want to work with any of the functions, you can turn it off. The add building, before you add a building, you have to make sure it is on green, it is turned on before you can be able to add a building. If it is not turned on, you cannot add building. You might be getting an error. So, and when you want to add important points, important features, you also tap on it. It will show green for it to work. And draw road, they're the same thing. If you want to draw a road, just as these roads are here now, if you want to draw a road, you have to tap on it. It will be green. If you want to draw boundary, the same thing. Then if you want to shift building, please note, buildings without their attributes cannot be shifted. So make sure, and buildings with attributes cannot be deleted. So these two are kind of opposite. When your buildings have a attribute, when you tap and you notice that it's not the exact location you want to put that building, and you've not added your attributes, you've not added the building address and so on, you can now use your delete button. But when you've added your building address and everything, you can now use the shift button. Hope we are clear with these two functions, the shift building and the delete building. These two should not contradict, or you should not get confused using both of them. And also delete line and polygon. You can use this delete line and polygon when you're working on roads or carving your boundary, your EA boundary. Maybe the point where your carving is not the right place, you use your delete line and polygon and delete. So we are now back to start adding our building. So for us to start adding our building, we zoom closely. We zoom and click on add building. We now tap on building 1. So when we now tap on building 1, you click this arrow key here. It takes you to where you put the building code. Building code is the serial, or to avoid mistakes, this is automatically populated by EAD pad, so it is serial. Then corner building. If the building is in the edge of the EA, you mark it as a corner building. Based on this exercise now, based on what we just put, is at the edge of the EA, so I mark it as a corner building. So the building address, this is the full address of the building or building owner's name. But when the building does not have an address, you use a description how to get to that place. So in this one, it has an address. We are in F20 H&J Estate, Galadima. And if you look down, you see that the longitude and latitude has been captured. If you click on any building, it will tell you the longitude and latitude of that building. And if you also look down, you see the distance from building is 85 meters. That's to tell you you're close to the building you're working on. But when it is higher, that the GIS or whoever that is checking your work can be detect that you are far from your actual location. Maybe that you're just doing your demarcation in a different place. So if it is too far, it can be detected that you're not in your right or location. So we move further. Building ownership. The building ownership can be privately owned, government owned, or private agency. In this case, it is privately owned. The building or type, it could be bungalow, hut, one-story building or two-story building, as the case may be. This one is a one-story building. Sorry, is a bungalow. We pick bungalow. Building status. Is it residential building? Is it residential or non-residential or institutional? We have these three types of residential status. When it is residential, it means that people are living there. Non-residential, nobody is living there. Institutional, it could be hospital, it could be school, it could be a prison. So in this case, is residential. We click on our residential. Then building use. Building use varies. I think this building use is the largest because it can be residential or private residence. It could be kitchen. It could be bathroom, gate house, generator house. So, but this particular building is private residence. So we move further. Number of households in building. I want us to get something also to refresh our memory about what household is all about. Household is a person or group of persons living together under the same roof or compound, sharing a common kitchen arrangement, and also recognizes one person as a head. So if you probe the people and the description of what they gave you falls into this my definition, that means they are household. But when it doesn't fall, that means they are different households. So but in this case, in what this particular building where we are working, there are three households. So it will now tell you forward. Okay, number of persons in sampled building. This number of persons in sampled building comprises the number of persons in these three households. The household number one has two persons, household number two has one person, household number three has two persons. Altogether, it will give you 5 persons in sampled building. So you say 5. We'll move forward. Would you like to wrap up this EA or proceed to next building? When you're up to when you have reached to your threshold, you can say wrap up an EA. But when you've not reached, you say yeah, next building. It takes you back to the map side where you put in your next building. You pan again. Then remember to pick or to highlight your add building for you to be able to add building. You click building number 2 and you move forward. It is still the same compound, so and the building code is still the same, so let's just run it like that. But remember, building address, for you not to keep typing most of the time, when you feel like it is the same compound or the same owner of the house, you just click on this down to pull you down the addresses you've written before. You can just tap on it and say paste. It paste it without you disturbing your head to type it again. Then you click next. Privately owned, yes. Bungalow, yes. Residential, private residence, yes. Number of persons, number of households in building, it's one household. You move forward. Would you like to wrap up this EA or proceed to next? You say next. So it takes you to the map layer where you add in another building. So you click on your add building, you tap again, building number 3. You take it. So the address this time around is no more F20, is now F21 H&J Estate. Galadima. So the same thing, you move forward. Privately owned. This is one-story building, residential, yes. How many households? One household. You move forward. That's how you can start adding your buildings. On a paraventure, you're adding your buildings and you discover the maybe in a building number one that you need to make some edits on that building number one. You have to come back and use this your side menu icon. Down these three dots here, that's called, what is called is the side menu. So you click on this side menu, you see the functions file tree. So the one we are going to click on is a file tree. It will give you the total number of buildings you've reputed. So we want to edit something like a building number one, that's the one on the bottom. We want to edit it to change the building, some things. Maybe we entered wrong, we entered a building code or the building address wrongly. So for us to correct it, we'll come and tap it. So let's say that the building is one-story building, not bungalow. We'll tap on it. Or they say the address is F19. We tap and edit it. So when you make sure that you've corrected the error that made you to come back there, when you finish your edit, you say update entry. Are you about, okay, you are about to alert update previous records made. Proceed. You say yes. So it has edited the work for you. And also, you can be checking your estimated population while you're doing your mapping. And for you to check this, you use the summary check. This icon close to the menu, side menu. You click on that, it will show you your EA summary. Under, you see the current estimated population and you see the random number. It means that the PDA picked number one as a random selection, and the building covered, the residential building is covered, and non-residential building is covered, which is 0, and institutional building is covered, which is 0. So maybe when the demarcators at the end of the exercise, when they are filling their EA retrieval form, this is where they will use to write down their EA summary. So as you're working also in the field, you can use this to check your estimated population count while you map. So that is how you can navigate and play around with this your EAD pad while you're working, and it's user friendly. Even if you've not used it before, if you just get it and work around it, you can understand it better and better. So thank you for your time.